Hey gang, what's going on? So I have my free agent predictions video coming out now. It's got a lot of surprises and probably not, it's probably some that are not surprising. But before I get back onto that, if you like this kind of content, baseball or Yankees content, please hit that like, subscribe, and bell icon buttons because it's greatly appreciated and very helpful for the channel. But moving on to the free agents. Now that Edwin Diaz is off the board and going back to Queens because he just signed a monstrous 5-year, $102 million deal to stay with the Mets, my free agent predictions are going to be a little bit different now. But moving on from that and getting on to the predictions. So starting pitcher Carlos Rodon, I believe will end up with the New York Yankees. I believe the Yankees will make a move and sign him. I think it's going to be about a 3-year deal for maybe $36 million. So I think that's more than fair for him, for a guy who's got problems injury-wise, especially after a certain innings point. But I think he'll go to the Yankees, and I think he will be the number 4 guy in the rotation, or number 3 guy, whichever they decide to put him as. But I think Carlos Rodon goes to the Yankees. For Carlos Correa, I think Carlos Correa will sign with the Baltimore Orioles. I think that's a given because the Orioles wanted him last offseason. They made a push for him. And this year, I think they're going to make another push for him. And I think they'll end up landing the perennial all-star from Houston and Minnesota. So I think that Baltimore will sign Carlos Correa to an 8-year deal for about $250 million, maybe more. He might also even get an option that will drive that deal up. So I think he'll go and land with Baltimore. So Baltimore will be the next the next team for Carlos Correa. Trey Turner, I think the Yankees are going to get him. I think that they are in desperate need to replace Donaldson. And I think Trey Turner will be the new third baseman for the Yankees. I think he's going to get a nice size deal as well. I don't think he's going to get as much as Judge, but I think he'll get a nice size deal. I think he'll end up with the Yankees as well. I think those will be the only 2 moves the Yankees make on the free agent market. I believe they might also go out and trade for another pitcher, but I could be wrong. But I got Trey Turner and Carlos Rodon as the only 2 moves to the Yankees. Next, we got first baseman from the White Sox, Jose Abreu. I think Jose Abreu will go and sign with the Philadelphia Phillies. The Phillies could use some extra pop in that lineup. I think that'll be a big move for him. So I think he will be one of 2 moves for the Phillies. So I think he heads to the Phillies in a 4-year deal for about $66 million or so. Just spitballing a number, but I think he'll end up there. As for Tyler Anderson, who had a magnificent year for the Dodgers, mind you, I believe he will go to Philly as well, and I think he will be a nice addition to that pitching staff, which desperately needs a left-handed pitcher. So I think the Phillies will get Jose Abreu and Tyler Anderson of the Dodgers. I think Clayton Kershaw will re-sign with the Dodgers, and I believe he will re-sign for another year with an option. I don't believe that option will be exercised unless he reaches a certain number of innings, wins, whatever it is. And I think there's going to be incentives into that. So I think Kershaw goes back to the Dodgers. Let's see. Wilson Contreras to the Cubs. I think he'll go, and I think he'll sign with the Astros. I think he'll go to the Astros, and he'll become their new catcher. I think he'll sign a 4-year deal with them, and he will be their starting catcher. and that really improves their catching situation that they have already now. So Wilson Contreras will go to the Astros and be their starting catcher. I see the perennial or AL Cy Young candidate, Justin Verlander. I think he'll go back to Detroit. I think that will be something that we should look out for. I don't think Detroit's a team to sleep on, especially when they've got A.J. Hinch. And being that A.J. Hinch has managed Justin Verlander for a year or two, I think it was, I don't think that would be a team to sleep on. So I think that Justin Verlander will go back to Detroit. And it'll be for a one-year deal. He'll end his career there. And I think Detroit will make a splash and sign Justin Verlander. For Aaron Judge, this is the one that everyone's talking about. This is the one that everyone wants to know where he's going to go, what's going to happen with Aaron Judge. I don't think the Yankees re-sign him. I think he walks. And I think he goes to the San Francisco Giants. I think that we will be seeing him in a Giants uniform next year, and that will be the blockbuster of the offseason. I do think he will end up playing there, and he will get a nice size deal. It'll probably be a 10-year deal for about $450. If it's that. It may be less years, more money, or it may be more years, less money. But I think he'll end up in a Giants uniform. For trade-wise, we'll throw that in here as well. I believe Shohei Ohtani will go to the Blue Jays, and I think that will be a nice size package sent back to the Angels. So I think the Angels will acquire a boatload for Ohtani, and Ohtani will end up in Toronto. Then I think the next move the Angels are going to make is they're going to deal Mike Trout. I believe Trout will end up in Philadelphia. So I think the Phillies will make 3 moves. One of them is a trade. 2 of them are signings. So Mike Trout will go to Philly and man center field for them. So the Angels will deal Trout to Philly, Ohtani to the Blue Jays. And I think the Yankees will deal for Pablo Lopez in the offseason and get another pitcher. So they'll get Rodon, Turner, and Lopez, and that'll be their offseason. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd really love to hear what you guys have to think. Let's get into this. Until next time, over and out.